During the 1980s, Myanmar's totalitarian government maintained an iron grip over its population through the flouting of civil liberties and the violation of human rights through violent physical abuse. Aung San Suu Kyi, a political activist, rose to prominence in 1988. Inspired by the philosophies of Mahatma Gandhi, she led peaceful protest, spoke to crowds, and advocated for a democratic government. In 1989, she established the National League for Democracy. Because of this, the ruling government forced her to spend 15 of the next 21 years under house arrest. Aung San Suu Kyi is incredibly important because she was able to break the barrier of political tyranny in her country by using civil disobedience to peacefully fight for a fair, democratic government that did not use physical brutality against its people. Although this goal took her more than 20 years to achieve, Aung San Suu Kyi persevered and was able to establish the NLD as a governing force in Myanmar. Myanmar is a Buddhist country. More than 90% of the population practices the religion. Because of this, it is implemented in the government's policies, laws, and reasoning. Though, the peaceful ways of Buddhism have not always been apparent in the government of Myanmar. Until 1989, what we now know as Myanmar was called Burma. Burma's government has undergone many changes over the centuries. However, the most important of these changes were the Anglo-Burmese Wars, which lasted from 1824 to 1885, between the British and the Burmese armies. The first of these wars was fought to regain territory that Burma had controlled, which originally belonged to British India. The wars progressed, and by the Third War, the British had completely annexed Burma and retained control of it for the next 65 years, although not without opposition from the Burmese people. Northern Burmese territories would participate in guerrilla activity in order to show their resistance to the British rule. In 1890, the British put a stop to this by destroying entire villages, a tactic which would be favored by Burma's military junta. No one dared oppose their rule openly again until 1920, when students at Rangoon University began to protest. Soon, others followed their example, as strikes, anti-tax protests, and even armed rebellions led by Buddhist monks began to happen. A student named Aung San from the university gained prominence as one of the heads of the National Autonomy Movement. He founded the Anti-Fascist People's Freedom League, AFPFL, and in 1947, Aung San helped to negotiate Burma's independence with Britain. An elected interim government saw Aung San's AFPFL win 248 of 255 assembly seats, though, sadly, Aung San and several members of his government were gunned down and killed. U Nu, one of Aung San's colleagues from college, took over the government and secured Burma's independence. He stayed in office until 1962, when a general named Ne Win staged a coup and took over. This is when the country's decline under military dictatorship began. Aung San was the father of Aung San Suu Kyi. Suu Kyi was born on June 19, 1945, in Rangoon, Myanmar, to Kin Chi, a diplomat of Myanmar, to India, and the aforementioned Aung San. Suu Kyi lived in many places, including India, Britain, and New York between 1960 and 1988. In 1972, she moved from New York to London, where she lived until 1988 when she went back to Myanmar to help take care of her dying mother. Their return would forever change her life. During Suu Kyi's time back in Myanmar, many protests were taking place. These protests were called the 8888 uprisings, as they started on August 8, 1988. The government decided to isolate the country economically by not trading with other countries, which thrust it into extreme poverty. This is why people were protesting. Thousands took to the streets fighting for democracy. Tragically, a substantial number of the protesters were violently suppressed and thousands were killed by the military. Since these protests were occurring, the ruling dictator, Ne Win, stepped down and was replaced by a military junta, which was a council of military leaders. Suu Kyi watched the protests from her mother's bedside, and she decided that she would speak out. She tackled the issues of democracy and human rights, encouraging people not to retaliate with violence against the police, instead choosing to protest peacefully. As Suu Kyi stated, the entire nation's desires and aspirations are very clear. There can be no doubt that everybody wants a multi-party democratic system of government. It is the duty of the present government to bring about such a system as soon as possible. Throughout her career, Suu Kyi strove to bring peace to Myanmar, and her efforts started to show on September 27, 1988. On this day, Suu Kyi started to break the barrier of an oppressive government by helping to establish the National League for Democracy in the aftermath of the 8888 protest. The NLD advocated for the nonviolent movement towards multi-party democracy in Myanmar and also supported human rights, the rule of law, and national reconciliation. In 1989, the government had decided to change Burma's name to Myanmar, a year after the protests had begun and thousands of protesters were killed. The government wanted to distance the country's British colonial ties and establish a sense of patriotism within the country by creating a term that encompassed all people who lived in Myanmar, and not just the people born there. The NLD won a substantial parliamentary majority in the 1990 Myanmar general election. However, the ruling military junta refused to recognize the result and in the same year placed Suu Kyi under house arrest. She was seen as a threat to the government because they feared her determination and the support she held. She was told that she was not allowed to leave her house unless she left the country forever. She refused the offer and stated that until the country returns to a civilized government and political prisoners were freed, she would stay in Myanmar. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1991 for, as stated by the Norwegian Nobel Committee, her nonviolent struggle for democracy and human rights. In 2010, the NLD was declared illegal by the ruling military junta. The NLD boycotted the elections after many of its prominent members were barred from participating. In the 2012 elections, Aung San Suu Kyi ran for a seat in parliament. The NLD won 43 out of 44 seats they contested. Suu Kyi secured one of those seats, and the NLD became the ruling party. In 2015, the NLD won a landslide victory, making them the ruling party once more. Despite being the clear and undisputed leader of the NLD, Suu Kyi was not allowed to be president because of a clause in the Constitution, which bars candidates with foreign spouses or children from attaining this position. Although the military junta stepped down as the ruling power, they still retain immense control, as they act as their own faction of government. Their leader refuses to step down, and they do not answer to Suu Kyi. The military and the government's relationship is not perfect, as many conflicts occur today. The military retains enormous power, and they have shown violent physical abuse to the Rohingya people of the southwestern Rakhine state. The Rohingya are not granted citizenship in Myanmar or government protection, and throughout the last 8 years, Suu Kyi has remained silent about the military's brutal methods, over which she has no power. She has received much criticism from world leaders, and the conflicts continue to this day. However, Suu Kyi testified in court acknowledging her military actions, stating, "If war crimes have been committed, they will be prosecuted within our military justice system." During Aung San Suu Kyi's leadership of Myanmar, many positive changes have occurred. Between 2012 and 2019, Myanmar's economy has grown approximately 19%. Sources state that it is projected to grow at 6.6% in 2020. This makes it one of the leading growing economies in Asia over the past few years. Another example of a positive change in Myanmar is technological advances. In 2008, 0.2% could use the internet, but in 2018, 26% of the population could use the internet. 85% of that 26% use the internet through smartphones, making Myanmar one of the highest user rates of smartphones in developing countries. Not only did Myanmar advance technologically under Suu Kyi, but its rate of education among children grew. In 2010, before Suu Kyi won the election, education rates stood at less than 90%, but by 2017, it was at 97.66%. Group efforts to stimulate change are ongoing today. Although for 15 years, Suu Kyi was under house arrest, which prevented her from leading public efforts, her spirited rebellion inspired others in Myanmar to continue to protest for freedom and rights. Examples include the Saffron Revolution in 2007, Yangon's chapter of the Global Climate Strike, and the yearly Yangon Pride Festival. They stand as modern examples of how Suu Kyi has inspired others to keep fighting for political and social change. Aung San Suu Kyi has had an indisputable impact upon the country of Myanmar. Although for decades the people of the country were oppressed by the military regime, Suu Kyi stood up for the people's rights and broke barriers by stopping the political oppression within her country. Her Democratic Party eventually won the election in 2012. The tyrannic military no longer ruled with an iron fist over the people. Under Suu Kyi's rule over the last 8 years, the country has seen much economic growth, and actions are underway to further advance the country economically, technologically, and ecologically. Aung San Suu Kyi's establishment of a democratic government for the people of Myanmar made not only a political impact, but a social one as well, which made her an inspiration to the world and an unforgettable hero.